Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm Leita Youngren. I'm the VP of Marketing here at Triple Seat, and welcome to the first of a 4-part sales and marketing seminar. Our team will be focusing on teaching sales and marketing tactics today to help drive your business. And this can benefit not only sales and event managers, but anyone working today in the industry to give you a basic understanding of what is crucial to getting your business found, promoted, and booked. Well, today, we are going to be talking about generating leads with social media, and this will be hosted by Azure Collier, who is the Director of Content Marketing here at Triple Seat. She manages the blog, social media, email content, and is the executive editor of Seated Magazine. She was previously the social media marketing community manager for email marketing company called Constant Contact. Many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with. And she also worked in marketing for higher education and as a newspaper reporter in the Midwest. Azure, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Leita. And hello to all of our attendees. Really happy to have you here. I'm just going to pop open the slides. All right. So the title of our session this afternoon is Generating Inbound Leads with Social Media. And let's go ahead and get started. Like Leita said, I am the Director of Content Marketing here at Triple Seat, and I'm proud to be at Triple Seat since 2017, and I've really enjoyed getting to know the industry and our customers and our team, and it's just a great industry, so happy to be here and present to you today. I want to talk about the 4 parts that we're looking at with the agenda. We're going to look at the social networks you can use. I know it's a big question for lots of our customers about what they should be on. We'll look at how to set up and optimize your profiles. I'll look at what to post and where to post it for each network. And then we'll talk about measuring success. So how to know if you're doing well, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And before we kick these parts off, I do want to say there's no doubt that social media users and usage have ramped up as people are spending way more time indoors than they were to avoid catching the coronavirus. And not only has the audience grown, but the time we're spending on our smartphones is up by almost 26 minutes per day. I'm actually surprised it's not more. That stat is by eMarketer. And the food and beverage e-commerce industry has increased by 13 billion. So you have a captive audience and you can reach them using social media. Your restaurant, hotel, or unique venue can drive business in 2021 by harnessing the power of social media, but you need to take some specific actions to get the most out of your marketing activity, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. Now, when you think about the social networks that you should be using, your head, the inside of your head probably looks like this. It's just filled with tweets and likes and, all of these symbols and logos and icons and apps. And it gets a little overwhelming. There's a lot of options for social media marketing out there. You've got the most popular networks: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. And there's some newcomers over the last couple of years like Snapchat, TikTok, and there's a bunch you may have not even heard of in other countries or things that are developing. This may make your head spin, but don't worry, I'm going to help you narrow this down. So based on what we're seeing in the industry, these top 4 networks are the ones that really work for hospitality, restaurants, hotels, and unique venues in particular: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And with these networks, these are the reasons you should be using these. With Facebook, it gives you a chance to reach your customers and your prospects directly. Everybody has businesses they are loyal to and they want to hear more from them, so they're following them on Facebook. With Instagram, it's similar to Facebook, but it's a visual medium. So you're going to be able to reach those customers, but also build your brand visually with photos and videos. With LinkedIn, it's a little more buttoned up. It's all about business. We're not saying happy birthday to people here. We're not sharing memes. We're talking about the industry and our business and talking directly to clients. And more specifically, a lot of corporate clients use LinkedIn. And you can also get some information out to your industry contacts, talk about on LinkedIn the things that you know and what you're doing, but also connect with your industry peers there and learn from them and learn some new trends and ideas going on in the hospitality industry. With Twitter, it's more of a media platform where there's news happening. Every second things are being posted. This is a great opportunity for you to get your name out there to media and publications that have their own big audience. So, reach out to different publications about what you're doing. You can also post the articles that they're writing and tag them in there. Just get your name noticed by the influencers and the bloggers and the news outlets in your area that have a great big audience. And if they talk about you, they'll spread the word about your business to those people. And it's also Twitter, also a great place to meet industry contacts. And you can reach out to people in the food world, in the restaurant world, have conversations, get to know them, and they could get to know your business. Let's look at how to set up and optimize your profiles. And no matter whether you've already used some of these or you're setting something up, if you've already been on social media now at the beginning of the year when things are slow, this is a good time to take a look at your profiles and say, do I really have all of the most up-to-date information? And do I have the information that people are really looking for? Now, all of these networks are set up a little bit different, but there are some consistencies in what you should be having. First of all, and I can't believe I have to say this, but I have noticed some things lately about using the business versus personal account. Make sure you are using the business account with all of these social media networks. I think Twitter is the only one that doesn't differentiate. So you need a Facebook business page, you need an Instagram account, but switch it to the business version. You need a LinkedIn business page. So make sure you're set up that way. And these networks with the business settings, they're going to give you all kinds of different ways in the profile that they're set up for you to display information. So if you are a business page and you're a restaurant, it's going to give you a place, for example, to put your menu and your business hours and things like that. And that's not something that the personal profile allows you to do. Make sure with these profiles that you're including all of the relevant information. So you've got all the contact information. Can people call you, email you? Come to your address. What are the business hours? That's so important right now, is to display those business hours. Facebook has upgraded their tools there for business hours, and the day of the week, they will show the days of the week that you're open and the times of the day. It's been really difficult with different restrictions with your cities and states as to what can be open and what times and when. And restaurants are closing their hours or going in hibernation for the winter, or only opening a couple days a week. And it's changing so much that your customers can't keep up. But the Facebook page is a great way to make sure that that is always consistent, and they can always go there to find out that information and know when to come into your restaurant or hotel or venue. Keywords are really important as well. Use the relevant keywords that relate to your type of venue, restaurant, hotel, unique venue, what kind of cuisine type you're serving. That's really helpful with search too. Some people do use Facebook as a search engine, just like Google. They might type Mexican restaurant Boston, and the pages that have those keywords will come up in Facebook. So make sure you're taking advantage of how people may be searching for you. And if you are doing things like search engine optimization, SEO, Google Ads, things like that, those keywords can carry over to your profiles to help optimize them for search. If you are doing events and event types, make sure you type those in your descriptions as well. If people are starting to book weddings or cocktail parties or corporate events, make sure those are visible so they know that that's the kind of thing that you do. Also, your location, your city, your neighborhood, very important for people to know that you're nearby them, they can get there. Note that if you are open for indoor, outdoor dining, takeout, or delivery, again, something that's been changing in the different areas and cities and states. So make sure that is current so people know that they can, that you're available for whatever type of dining they're looking for. And this may be hard to see, but on the left here, we've got a profile from Chica Restaurants, and they're located in Las Vegas and Miami. So they have a lot of these, this pertinent information down. They've got little emojis that have pins for their locations. They have one in Las Vegas. They have one in Miami. They talk about the kind of cuisine that they have. They've got, and with those pins too, they talk about the hours that they're open in each location. On the right, you've got Lamia's Fish Market in New York City. They're a Mediterranean seafood restaurant. So they've got that in the about section in their description in their Facebook profile. And below that, I've outlined that in a red box where it says that they're a Mediterranean restaurant. So you can choose on your Facebook profile that you're a restaurant, but also what type of restaurant. So anything you can do to help enhance your description helps get the customers that are a right match for you, that are looking for somebody that are just like you. Another important part of setting up your profiles is to use Triple Seat's lead form link. This is one of the most important tools you can use to generate leads for events and private dining. So the lead form link, you've got that available in your Triple Seat account. You need to copy and paste that in your bio. So anything that's got an about section, that's got a website, make that your primary website. If your objective right now is to get leads for events, take out your regular website, put this lead form link in there, because it's a really easy way for people to click and then just put in that inquiry. If you're using anything but the lead form link, if you're just using your website and say, go here, if you're using, call me or do this email address, you're putting obstacles in the way of your customers and booking with you. The lead form link takes them one click to go exactly where they want to go and fill out that information and give you an inquiry. They don't have to worry about, is this person going to call me back? They don't have to think about, am I emailing into a black hole that no one's ever going to see the email? I really can't overemphasize how important it is to use that lead form link everywhere. So not only your bio, but the call to action button. If you've got a Facebook page, and you can see this picture here from Blue Water Restaurant, the blue button that says book now, you can change that button to say different messages and go to a link that you select. So take advantage of that, use your lead form link there in that call to action button. And even above that, you could put in a photo. You see it says Blue Water Restaurant, but you can change that header image to say something like, book your events now, and then draw an arrow on that image, that would point to the book now button, like really bring attention to it so people notice it. In your Instagram bio, unless you have a huge number of followers, Instagram won't let you put any clickable links in anything, any of your posts, anything, except the one link in your Instagram bio. So you get one link there, make that your lead form link. And in your posts, you can talk about, in the captions, you can talk about, hey, book your wedding with us, and click our link in bio to send an inquiry. And everybody knows on Instagram, every follower now, they know what link in bio means. You go to that business's Instagram profile, the link right there, you click that to take the next action. And then in social media posts as well, you can see on the bottom left here from Blue Water, we've got a post about booking for spring 2021 events. You can use that in any of your social media posts. Talk about the events, talk about booking now, include that link. All they have to do is click and then send that inquiry. Let's move on to what to post and where to post it on the networks. Once you've decided on the social media platforms you want to use based on the audience you're going to reach, and you've got that up-to-date information, it's time to create content that appeals to your followers, motivates them to continue interacting with you, and makes it easy to book with your venue. The key here, and I've got this on the Facebook slide, but really it applies to all of the networks. The key here is to approach content from the customer's perspective. You need to create posts that address the question, why should I care? Why does the customer care? And think about switching your mindset and the words you use. You could post book 2021 events with us now, but that doesn't tell the customer, well, why should I care? If you switch that to get a 10% discount on your spring 2021 event deposit, telling them book now and get your discount, that tells the customer, why should I care? The first thing, just telling people to book, that's about you. That's on your business. Switching it to say book now and you'll get this, that's focusing on the customer. So really just decide to tap into that and come out the gate with what's in it for them in your post. If you don't offer them an incentive and they don't know that they can get something extra out of it, they're not going to take the time. They're not going to be motivated to do anything further or click or send in any kind of inquiry. So with Facebook, you want to do things like show off your business, go behind the scenes. This could be photos or videos of what's going on in the kitchen when you're preparing catering, what's going on with setting up the venue for an event. If you've made changes to your business for COVID and you got, hey, look at our socially distanced, safe dining room, show that off. The visuals really help people know what's going on and they can picture having their event there. Make sure you are posting about your events business. You can post throwbacks, like Throwback Thursday posts back to last year when you were doing Valentine's events or whatever it is coming up. Make sure you say this is pre-COVID, but it's another way to show off how the venue might look for an event. Post about the events you are having with COVID. If the people are okay with you sharing pictures, they do want to see what an event looks like now. So whatever you can do visually to help people picture themselves there and booking with you. When you're catering, make sure that you're showing when you're getting ready for that, the food that you're creating. If you're doing some different things for COVID, like single serve kind of items, people are getting really creative. The pandemic has been awful, but it has resulted in some great creative ideas. So think about what you can be doing to show off people, to show off to people what are the new things what are the trends that you're creating or the trends that you're jumping in on to help make events still fun but safe. If you've got deals or offers, make sure that you're talking about anything that you got a discount. I mean, there's some venues that if you book with us, we'll give you some gift cards for some other things. Whatever it is, if you're creating new micro wedding packages, you let people know on social media so that they'll be aware of it and decide to book with you or share that information with a friend. Just don't keep it all on the website. People aren't going to click around and explore. Make sure you are periodically highlighting these things on social media. And it's also a great idea to go live. Take advantage of Facebook and Instagram's addiction to live. These platforms really push live video. If someone follows a page that's live, that goes live, Facebook and Instagram alert the followers of that page, hey, this page is live right now. So you can do any of these topics that I've got here on the slide, but do it live. Go around in the kitchen and talk about what's going on with the catering or event setup, and just do that live. And you can share that video in other places. You can link to that. It'll live on your page. People will be able to see that later, in the feed. So live is a good way to get all of these taken care of and get more people to look at the content that you're posting there. Let's look at, I did want to go back 1 second and point out these examples here. So with, we've got Coppervine on the left here. It's cut off a little bit, but you can see that they've got pictures here of their space, their event space. They're talking about booking events, what's going on, what you can book. On the right, we've got Langtree Catering. They're showing pictures of what some of their single serve catering looks like. So, beautiful food always works, but if you see that and you're looking for catering, that really registers with you. And on the bottom, Envoy Hotel, there's an upcoming long weekend coming up in January, and they've got a link to their website, and they're reminding people, hey, you can book a staycation or a short getaway for us for the long weekend. So make sure you're reminding people of that as those holidays and opportunities come up. With Instagram, you want to make sure that your venue is an Instagrammable location. So are you doing the right things with, are you jumping on any food trends that are going on? Any of those crazy drinks with, or shakes with a piece of cake or a donut on top? Or with cocktails, are you topping them with something interesting, serving them in an interesting glass or container? Your space, your design, how have you updated that? Have you added murals or art or different kind of furniture? People love to see these, beautiful visual things from restaurants. And so make sure you're showing those regularly on Instagram. Again, going live can help you a lot with the way the Instagram platform is set up. Anyone that's going live, that's appearing at the top of the screen of the feed. People tend to click there before they scroll in the feed. So make sure that you're doing that, occasionally, and that'll put you in the best spot in the platform for people to see you. Just like Facebook, again, show off your space, make sure people know what their event might look like with you. That could be done with photos or videos. Show off your employees behind the scenes as they're getting things ready. You could show a picture of them in their COVID masks. You can share a picture of them as they're boxing up catering deliveries to go out. Whatever it is that might be visually interesting and just tells the story of your business. I mentioned the link in bio before. Make sure that you are mentioning that in the photos, in the captions. If you are pushing people to book for events, drive them there. And then take advantage of hashtags. Some people do look at Instagram and they will click on a hashtag, and if you do that in Instagram, it brings you to all of the other posts that have that same hashtag. So people might be looking for, hashtag Boston wedding. If those are the kinds of things you do, then make sure you include those in the hashtags. Look at the hashtags, look at what your competitors are posting, look at what other people are posting, or just start to search hashtags in Instagram and see what comes up. Try different combinations of words. As you do that, write those down. You do want to have a good mix of, popular hashtags where there's millions and millions of posts that come up with that, but also some hashtags where it's kind of medium, where there are, hundreds of thousands or even thousands of people looking at those hashtags. You'll be able to get seen more in kind of a hashtag that has a medium following than a huge, millions of followers for that particular hashtag, just because there are so many images associated with it. So see if you can narrow it down to maybe hashtags that go along with your location. And then people who are looking for what you do in that location, it'll make them easier to find you. And let's take a look at these posts here on the left. That's the Roby Chicago Hotel. They've got an incentive going on. They're giving people free parking for every night of their stay, which saves people $50 a night. That's a really good deal. And they push people to the link in bio to book with them. So great post. Next to that, the Riata Restaurant. It's engagement post, really timely. A lot of people get engaged over the holidays or next month during Valentine's Day. So it's kind of engagement season right now. So make sure you've got some posts that appeal to people who have just gotten engaged and they're looking to plan their weddings. So that's what they've done at Riata Restaurant. They've got the information there on how to do that. And then we've got Chops at the end. This is their boardroom. So they've got a picture here letting people know that they're ready for corporate events or other kinds of events, and showing off that picture of that space helps people who are looking for a similar space to host an event. That puts them on their mental list to check out later. Let's take a look at LinkedIn. So with LinkedIn, it is more business. It is more, it's less personal. You are going to get a lot of people talking more about the industry than you are just personal things. What you want to do here is reach out to your corporate clients. So the benefits that you have for them right now, a lot of offices, people are working from home and now they're getting antsy and they're trying to figure out, are there some other spaces you can use that are safer? A lot of hotels have decided to open up their rooms for day use, as an office. They're also offering their facilities for smaller meetings. So if your venue does something like that, LinkedIn is a great place to reach out and find those clients that need those different offers that you're putting out there. On LinkedIn, post about corporate events, virtual events, hybrid events, catering, if you're holding parties, conferences, anything you can do that appeals to the corporate clients and their needs, depending on how much you can be open to the area, what capacity you can open, or if you can help with some kind of hybrid types of events for these businesses to offer a space that's safe for people, but also the facilities they need to broadcast out if there are people who want to attend virtually. And then show off your industry tips and your knowledge here on LinkedIn. If you write about, if you held an event, you learned something, or you write a blog post, or if you see something interesting posted in the industry, share that and say, hey, I saw this, great article about these tips for corporate events. Check it out. This is just a great place to learn more, but also share what you know so other people can learn from it too. And then up here on the left, we've got a post from Bahia Mar in Florida. They've got their deals for corporate clients where they're encouraging people to book a room for a day as an office space. On the right, there's the William Vale in Brooklyn. This is a post from a couple months ago when they reopened after quarantine. So anytime you have a change in business like that, it's a great time to post and remind people that now you're open for these types of businesses, these types of opportunities, these types of clients, so that you get the word out there. And then on the bottom, this is a post from a sales employee from the Low Miami Beach. So that particular hotel was mentioned in Rolling Stone as a place to celebrate New Year's Eve. So encourage your sales staff to get on LinkedIn too. They've built these personal relationships with clients and other people in the industry, and they're, your employees, it's great to use their personal profiles or encourage them to use their personal profiles to talk about your business and reach out to clients. It's more accepted here to do that on LinkedIn than it is on Facebook, where some people do get annoyed when their friends post about their work and try to get them to do something or buy something. It's much more accepted here on LinkedIn. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. And then we have Twitter. Here is another place for you to show off your industry tips and your knowledge, because you've got industry publications looking for that information or sharing that information. You've got your peers out there talking about the same things. It's also important on Twitter to share what's known as curated content from your industry and content you see from local publications. So curated content really just means content you didn't create yourself. You're sharing a blog post that you didn't write, or sharing something that you saw that somebody else created. That's absolutely 100% okay to do, as long as you tag the original author and just don't claim that you created it. So if you're written up in something by Eater's local publication, or a local food blogger that visited you, share that and say, hey, we were featured in this post, or we got mentioned in this list, and then tag the publication. This gives you some credibility too, that like, we don't just think we're great, these other people think we're great too, and they wrote about it. Make sure you're reaching out to publications. This is a great place to cultivate relationships with these reporters and bloggers and influencers that write about the industry. It's perfectly okay to just respond to something they posted and say, hey, I think these are great tips, or that's a good point. The more you're visible to them on Twitter, the more they're going to think about you when they're like, whoa, I'm writing a story on catering, and that catering company in LA, they really like our work, and I keep hearing from them. I'm going to ask them if they've got some tips to add to my article. So it's a kind of a long game there, but if you create those good relationships, it's really going to help you in the future. Follow the trends on Twitter. Hashtags are huge as much as they are on Instagram. They're big on Twitter. If there's some kind of different trend going on, you can do hashtag searches, or if you're in Twitter, it'll show you what's going on, the trends of the day. Just make sure that you're following and using relevant hashtags. Don't do something that's called newsjacking, which is taking advantage of some kind of breaking news or something going on that's not related to you. Just be very careful of that, and make sure you're doing a little research on that hashtag before you post something with it and join in on that conversation. Just make sure that it's a topic that's relevant to your business, but also isn't a topic that, if you're in that conversation, that your customers are going to go, wow, that's not appropriate that they chimed in on that. So just watch it. But there are lots of fun hashtags out there. There's different, food days. Bloody Mary Day was January 1st, for example. So you can chime in on those kinds of fun holidays to add to the conversation, and then other things in the industry. And then customer service is, a lot of people do use Twitter for customer service to reach out. So if you haven't checked your Twitter account in a while, you might want to check in there. You might have some messages from people that have been asking questions or need something. Let's take a look at these examples here on the left. This is Amerigo Restaurants in Tennessee. They were featured in a blog post by Thrillist, food lifestyle blog. Thrillist mentioned them about holiday catering. So Amerigo shared that on Twitter. They tagged Thrillist, which is great. So if somebody talks about you or mentions you, post about that everywhere. It's okay to talk about yourself, and then tag that publication so that they know you shared it. They'll be really appreciative that you shared it with your audience. On the right, we've got the Durham Hotel. Their neighborhood in Durham, North Carolina, created this hashtag called the Durham Takeout Pledge. And so what that business and all those businesses are doing in their downtown, they're supporting each other on Twitter, and all the hotels and restaurants, they're encouraging you in tweets to go out and patronize those other businesses, which is a really nice idea. So in this post, they're talking about another local restaurant in the area. They're tagging that restaurant and then sharing the link so people can order from them. And then on the bottom, this is Heim Barbecue in Dallas. This is a really nice customer service tweet. I found that around Thanksgiving, someone had ordered a turkey from Heim Barbecue, but they also wanted to order a second turkey to donate to a family in need. And so Heim Barbecue responded and told them that they're going to try to figure out how to get that done. But that was a nice example of using customer service on Twitter. Let's talk about measuring your success. This is the real way to find out if what you're doing is working. All of the social networks have free analytics tools. So you can go on them and find out how your posts are doing, how many followers you have, what the engagement is, what the comments are. So those are all free, but there's another list of tools here. These are all paid. There's different price ranges. Some of them are cheaper than others. It just depends on what you want to use them for. They all have different types of plans, so lots of different pricing options. But Hootsuite, Later is just for Instagram, and then Sprout Social, CoSchedule, Agorapulse, and Buffer. They all work with most, if not all, of the social networks. You can use them to look deeper at your analytics, and they'll come up not only with the reports, but like show you, what to do, or what's, the highlights, what's working in your top posts, that kind of thing. And, you can really dig deep in these analytics and figure out what to do next. And you can use these tools to schedule social media posts in advance. So it's a really great time saver for you, that if you at the beginning of the day what you want to talk about, what you want to post about, you could schedule a bunch of things that get posted during the day, so you don't have to be sitting in front of the computer every time or do it on the smartphone. The big question here is what to measure, because these tools with the social networks, that the analytics in the social networks, and then all these other tools you might use, they give you way more than you need to know. But if you're just getting started, or you're trying to think, I want to revamp my marketing, here's how you get down to basics and figure out, okay, what am I doing? These are the most important things to measure, and then you can add your own analytics as you go on. There might be some other things that you're interested in looking at, but what you want to look at with these social media posts is the number of clicks that your links get when you share links. What are people clicking on? And that means this is what they're interested in. You also want to look at engagement on the individual posts, but also, every month, take a look at it, how many likes, comments, and shares you got. That's the real engagement and clicks on links. Those are the real big analytics to measure, because you want your post to be seen, you want them to appear in the feed, but really what you want to do is have people take an action on the post. That is the goal here, is to get people to take action with you. Follower count, it's important to look at that just to make sure that you're experiencing growth. Do not get hung up on the number of followers. I mean, of course, you want to have a big audience so that more people are likely to see what you post, but really, you just try to go for growth overall. If you really want to ramp that up, we're not going to talk about advertising today, but advertising is really a good way to help you increase that follower count. And then we've got content types. So links, photos, and videos, especially on Facebook. You see on this chart here on the left, at the top of it, it looks at your video posts versus photos versus links to find out what's getting the most engagement. So that's just a good marker for you to figure out, like, oh, my followers really love videos. So when I'm promoting something big, I should really start to use video, and that will reach them because that's what they prefer. So this just helps you keep tabs on the type of content that really works for you. And then you see on the right, this is an example of the analytics that you're going to get in Instagram. They only go back a couple of weeks. So one of these social media tools on the previous page, like Later, can help you go even further back. But it'll give you a good picture of what's working on Instagram. And you can look at all kinds of different types of analytics, the posts and videos and photos, and compare different things. So they've got a lot of great data there. There's also measuring success. You also need to use your event management software to do that as well. And Triple C has a lot of reports that will help you really dig in deep to figure out if your social media activity is generating any event leads. So with Triple C's reports, you can look at the leads by source. You can figure out which sources are driving the most traffic to your lead form link. You need to set this up, when you're building your lead form as to what the source is, so it knows. You can also take a look at the leads from the lead forms created from each network. So if you have a lead form called Instagram leads and one called Facebook leads, you can see by the amount of leads generated by those lead forms which one is getting you more activity. You can look at the lead sources in your lead details report. So, with the leads that you're getting, it'll help you figure out the sources, which social media networks are driving more leads, and then the lead conversions report. It's great to drive leads, but you want to get that money in. So which of the networks are helping you get more revenue from leads when you're sharing that lead form link there. And the next steps with measuring your success, you want to keep an eye on your stats every week, or maybe every day. Just get in there, take a look, just get a general idea of what's doing well, but don't get hung up on it. Just make sure you know in general what's going on. But it's more important to sit down every month and track your analytics. So take a look every month, and you can start a spreadsheet and put in there Facebook and how many posts you had and how much engagement you had, how many link clicks you got. And then do the same with the other networks and put down those leads from Triple C's report. How many leads did you get? What lead forms were working for you? How many leads did you get from these particular lead forms? This way you're looking at, okay, here's the top activities that I'm doing that are really getting an engagement, that are really driving activity. I need to keep doing more of these things because they're getting the most return on investment for me. These video posts on Facebook get a lot of engagement. This lead form link that I share on Instagram is getting a lot of traffic. So you're only going to figure that out if you sit down and you put those numbers in and go, okay, which of these activities is really giving me a lot of response and activity and traffic. So sit down once a month, take a look, put those stats in, and then every month as you do this, you can look back on the previous month and see how you did that month. Did you what changed from month to month? Did you get more? Did you get less? Look at the topics of these posts that are doing really well for you. What are the things that people are interested in? You'll also look at the types of content. We mentioned this before. If the videos are really driving leads and driving engagement for you, then make sure that you're doing a really good quantity of videos on those networks that really work for you every month. And then create some goals moving forward. What do you want to increase? Do you need to book a bunch of dates in February? Well, make sure that you take, if you find out that videos really work, they drive traffic, and your Instagram lead form link is driving leads, and you need to book, if you need to do bookings in February, well, then in February, hit Instagram hard, hit those videos hard. Those are the things that make people want to take action. So, do those when you've got some goals that you need to accomplish, and then, learn from that. Sitting down and looking at these stats is really helpful to figure out, okay, what do I need to do next to meet my business goals, and how can social media marketing accomplish that for me? So make sure that, with your business, whether you've been doing this for a long time or you're just new to this or you're adding a new network, it really is a good idea to sit down and evaluate what you've been doing with your marketing and just get a new start for the next year. Try new things. Don't be afraid to try new things. If you've never done a video before, you're going to get good at it if you just keep trying it. If you haven't promoted your events business before, just get out there and keep doing it. If you have something that doesn't work, don't be embarrassed by it. No, if it doesn't work, that means nobody saw it. So you don't need to worry about it. Just keep trying things out there, record it and see what works, and just improve on it for the next month. And as you do this, you'll get better at social media marketing. You'll know instantly, what's going to be working for you, and then it'll help you overall, drive that business and drive that traffic in 2021.